Hello, my name is Will. I actually want to talk about something specifically today, which is something that I've probably only realised most recently is the reason for ongoing mental health issues, I think, as opposed to perhaps coming into contact with a mental health moment or episode in your life, and then kind of like the reason that it can perpetuate throughout your life. So I'll explain it. So basically, Buddha talks about two things that happen. So you have the first arrow, which is life, that's experience. They're the things that you come into contact with. And then the second arrow is your reaction to what's going on. So you can't control the first arrow. You're all going to come into contact with things that are going to hurt you, your mind upsetting you, you feeling anxious, you feeling depressed in my case. But the second arrow is how you react to that incident occurring to you. The reason I want to talk about this is because I personally think that if you can change your relationship with your mental health, then that will effectively change your mental health. When I get depressed, it's often the result of a reaction to stress. So I've got too much going on in my life, there are too many external outputs coming in, and my brain basically goes, but like I can't have any more of this. So I have a depressive episode, my mood slumps, and you think about it like when you put your iPhone into power saver mode. That's kind of how I like to think about it. My brain just goes, I can't do too much. Everything then just goes down a level, and it really feels like a shutting down or like running on half speed. And it's very slow, and I find it hard to see much beyond grey, and I find it hard to come into contact with emotions that would, or things that would previously make me happy, because it's almost like my brain's in this little cocoon, it's looking after itself. Now, previously, my second arrow to that would be, oh my God, it's happening, this is not good. Think about that pack of Prozac, let me fix this. How am I gonna do it? I gotta go and see my therapist more. I need to go exercise more. I need to think about all the ways to change what's going on, as opposed to being with what's going on and listening to what's going on and ultimately accepting what's going on. And it's funny, whenever I come out of a depressive episode, that only occurs when there's like a letting go or an accepting of the fact that, hey, I am depressed right now, and that's just the way it is. I always find it funny that, I suppose, like in this day and age, I suppose this is particularly with men's mental health, there's such a big emphasis on men talking about what's going on them finding someone that they're close with and saying, hey, look, this is what's going on with me. And I think the reason for that is because the moment that you sit down and tell someone what's happening to you is the moment that you're not judging it. You're just explaining to somebody else, this is what's going on. And maybe for the first time for some of these people in their whole life, when they have that conversation, that's the first time that they've actually just gone, this is what it is. And there's no second arrow. There's no how do I fix it. There's no I'm so shit for having it. There's no I'm weak for having it. There's nothing added onto it. It's just, this is what it is. But inherently, I think that men know that that is the hardest thing to do. That anyone knows, gender regardless. Anyone knows that that's the hardest thing to do. To accept who you really are without layering on top of that is the strongest thing you can do. And there's so much irony to the fact that masculinity is typified through this ardency, through being strong and stoic and all these things, but really like the greatest strength that you can have is in the softness, in being soft enough, being strong enough through your softness to listen to who and what you are without trying to change it, without trying to fix it. And I think once you get to that point, and you open up to what already is and accepting how you are, and that you might be depressed, that you might be anxious, or all these things as part of who you are without layering on top of it, then it stops yelling as loudly. Then it stops becoming as confronting. So I have a little girl, and we didn't know what we were going to have, but I was really scared about having a little boy, if I'm honest, because I've suffered as a boy and I've suffered as a man. So, you know, there's this weird, I mean, I know that we're all people, but like there's an acute sense of empathy, which comes with, like, I know what it's like to have been lost. I know what it's like to have been sad as a guy, and I know, like, I can really feel how painful that is. I feel so grateful to be able to be a dad and be a guy in his life that will like listen to him and will allow all of this stuff to be within him, and then hopefully create within him a sense of softness and heart that will make him into the sort of guy that I think that the world needs, and that he should be, in whatever way that is for him. But it's just really nice to feel like, oh, I'll be here for whatever you're gonna be, and I'm so ready to do that, and I'm so looking forward to that. I just, you know, I think I spent a lot of my life really wishing that there was someone there who just told me, like, it's alright, like, it's gonna be okay, like, you're alright. And I know I'm gonna be that person for him. And that was so nice. It's like, I get to do that for you. You know, and that wasn't necessarily how it was for me for a while, until I had to figure that out myself. And then, you know, that's been great as well. You know, our paths all roll out in various different ways that we can never predict, and I'm grateful that my paths rolled out this way. But geez, it felt good to be like, fuck, I'm gonna be so there for you.
He's very lucky to have you.
No, thanks.